Bolser place, isn't it? On Beckett Road. Bob Jones lived there, the last one that I knew lived there.
Well, I do know that Scripps, Mrs. Scripps' mother and dad lived in this house. Reverend
Bolser, oh yeah, okay. That's in his Joseph's garage.
You know, you opened an airplane that guy?
Yeah, he had an airplane in there. Took the wings off to get it in.
He's quite a character.
Yeah, he was. That house next door. That's where his folks lived at one time. Bert Joseph lived in that. It looked like that then.
It's been torn down.
That's Mechanics place. It's a store next to it, where the porch is. And that's right next to, right across from Kenneth Joseph. Mr. and Mrs. Mechanic lived there. Oh, that's the old saloon, Heimar's Saloon, down the corner of Beckett Road and 120, or 125. Can't see that well, I don't know where it is.
Well, this is a picture of Westchester standing back by the way. That is Restorative Church right along. I can see a little bit of Catholic Church too. Presbyterian Church and the house that are no longer there.
That's what they used to call Blue Shutter Antique Place. That's just north of Mars. There's one house between there. Waterman's in there.
Should go in there?
I've been in it once I could.
Beautiful place.
That's Bill Bamber's old place. That's across the street from the Blue Shutter. He used to have an old one. Gray mare he drove, took mail from Westchester post office over to the depot. That was on, what's the name of that road?
Did it do what?
Station Road.
Yeah. Was it just torn in or?
No.
Store?
Single story one, I knew it. Oh, that's on the corner of Beckett and Old 25. That's Roscoe Williams. That Station Road goes down on the end of it.
Was it a store?
Not that, it wasn't a store and I knew it. They had a boogie shop or something one time down the back of it. That's Ray Jones's place on the opposite corner. And that's, he had trucks. There's a barn back there where they drove, it's called Fruit Produce from Cincinnati today. That's the corner of Westchester, Soreville, 25. Where
I'll show you what it is today. I put it in.
Oh, that's Lawson's old place. Used to be next to yeah, that's Lawson's. Used to live there. There's two stores north of that, the hardware store south, and then Bristol. That's the store. That was her store and Ely owned it. One next to it, up a level half. There's another store right next to it there. See, you have the roof. That's the store from the store. Not sure where that is. I remember seeing it, but
There's a barn there. You know it?
who's?
There's a barn there.
Yeah.
And they make buggies there.
Well, that's Bristol's hardware. That used to be a hardware store.
Well, on the second half of it, they made buggies.
Back and back, yeah. Yeah.
Sorry?
This one especially, go ahead.
That's people, the name of Swan lived there, and then Bingham's bought it. That was next to the store, north of the store. Our old house was right, almost across the street from Chick Barber Shop, right across from.
Well, this is what it looked like today.
Yeah. Then they had a filling station out there north of it. Bingham's, Bill Bingham bought it. His daughter married Carl Gunner.
Margaret Dunlop grew up there.
Is that who lived there?
No, she grew up in that.
That's some level store there. That's next to her store.
So the two stores were together?
Yep.
And you said your mother used to make
Coffee cakes.
coffee cakes and then she sold these out?
No, she took orders. She'd stay up all night Friday night and made yeast coffee cakes. And she charged 35 cents for the big ones, 25 for the little ones. Then I'd get up early, and she'd get me up about 5 o'clock, and I would have a little wagon, and we had a coffee can on her. So I'd paddle. We had certain customers. Julie Conrad was right across from there. I went down the street this way went as far down as Vanessa's. And I'd come up the other side of the street, and I'd deliver my coffee cakes, and everybody put their money in the coffee can, so I didn't have to count the money. It was 35 cents for a big one, and a quarter for a small one. But she'd stay up all night Friday night.
That's new.
Yeah. Oh, that house I know.
That's up on, North.
Oh, that's where that's Gus Clement's house. He used to be the banker. Next door to it was the post office.
Right, and that's next house.
That's the post office. Billy Gray lived on the north side, and the south side was Mary Kramer had the post office, and she lived in the old schoolhouse over there on Station Road, the 2-room schoolhouse. That's up on it's north of that, and Phillips. He had a print shop next to it.
One down a little bit.
That's let's see, is that on the corner of
Seminary. Right near the Halls area.
across the street?
On the same side.
Oh, that's I think that was on Leslie's old house. Was there a house built in back of it, new house?
No. It might be new, but I don't
It was
think so.
new. I think he moved out of that, and Tribby's moved in it. And
I know that it was a stagecoach shop at one
time, yeah.
and that they did take Bolsers in it. That's all I really know about it.
Yeah.
That's the print
Print
shop.
shop up Cliffville, print shop.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know what this is? We get folks together.
Marker
Yeah, it's a mile mark to Seminary.
said there's 18, 19 mile,
Right.
19 mile mark. Where was that at?
That Union School's right
Oh,
down that.
okay.
So Mark's in it, it's Applegate and Westchester.
Union School. That must have been up the fees.
Yeah, it
When-
is. You're right. On the other side says.
Yeah, that's 833 mile. Yeah.
And then this is the yard that it sits in. This is how it is fixed
Now,
over, and I'll
yeah.
show you what it looked like then.
Oh, yeah.
That's all up Precious on the right-hand side. Takes,
Oh, yeah. Tate's old house. There's a barn that's north of. Yeah. Dick Tate, hated Tate. Dick Tate got his neck broke. Chuck Tonic was driving trucks for Ray Jones. And a bunch of it was their senior year. I think they took a hayride on one of the trucks. Truck got set, stalk tracks came to the neck, broke his neck. That was Dick Tate. Ada Tate married Bud Hayes from Monroe, Bethany.
I know he Russell Lee, when he first came to Westchester, he and his wife boarded there. They had a room out on the second floor.
Okay.
And he told me it was beautiful inside. We had beautiful wood and.
No, that's not, that's Refuge where he was. That's right, bottom of the hill.
Oh, you didn't stay in this house?
Huh?
You did not live in that house
Mr. Lee lived there,
then? Yeah.
but he lived at Refuge. That wasn't Tate's. Tate's up on top of the hill.
Oh, well, this is Tate's house though.
Oh, okay.
So he didn't live in this house.
No, he lived in Refuge's. That's down at the bottom of the hill. That's on Westchester Resortsville. That's up there where you go off to,
That's from Rossell's farm.
Wakefield Place. Wakefield Place. Those two houses built alike.
Yes, a lot of them are all tight.
Westchester Resortsville.
Yeah.
There was Cruscups in that house. That's on Wakefield Place. In fact, that's where her dad started farm, was on Wakefield. Her grandpa lived there. That was across from Russell's.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Station Road Farm.
Woodry's? Was that Woodry's?
Well, that's what it's called now, Station Road Farm.
Is it a nursery lot? That's Woodry's old place, Ernst Woodry.
They fixed it up. It's much fancier.
Yeah, yeah. It's on the left going over towards the railroad.
You have to take some pictures. This This is on Mill Road, but down in Dumont Dunes area, across from Mill.
Cross from the
Yeah. The field.
OK cars. K cars.
They used to
On the
grow
curve?
flowers, yeah. But not back down too.
No, that's not. That's back. That was back on Stevenson's.
okay.
Stevenson's. K cars and Port Cross front. That's Stevenson's place there. The one boy shot himself out on the roof.
Right. I can tell you, the fire department burned this down, okay? And behind it was a cooling house from Mill. And the wall was still standing, so they decided that they would get this long pole, and about 10 of them got on it, and they ran it. They were going to knock it over. So they got in position, and they were running, and they hit that wall, and they bounced back. The wall didn't budge at all. So those houses were built
Yeah,
solid.
they were.
And that was beautiful inside, too. It was beautiful.
It had big wide woodwork and high ceilings. I
But you
remember.
know, a lot of old homes had asbestos in them. And that'd be the reason, but one reason they gave was not fixing it up.
Well, the old Westchester School had asbestos in it. All the steam pipes trapped asbestos.
That's the side of it.
Yeah. Back at Meeks, down Back Road. That was Aunt Corbeck's.
Yeah.
She lived on the corner of Station Road right across from Lee Jones there in Chester. It's tore down now. Brick house.
That was a beautiful one, too.
Yeah. That's where Shepherd's. There's a little cemetery out back of it. I don't know whether they're
So there.
still there. I think Shepherd owns it now, and they got bread and breakfast or something.
Well, yeah, it closed down and somebody bought it. And what they did to it was they just kind of refixed it out.
Yep.
There was just one family living there. Wasn't
That was,
beautiful?
yeah, it is. That was built way back.
Ballman Farm.
Oh, yeah.
Louis.
That old Gerald farm.
Do you know Louis?
Yeah. I knew all of them. Herman, Louis.
Louis a character, I thought.
Yeah. Herbie, Doodle.
This is on the road from there, called, this is the Allen House.
Oh, yeah. Allen Road. That's one of the old ones. That's an older one, yeah. Did you get that picture? That's an old car.
Just met, a friend of mine, then talked to me, had taken a lot of pictures years ago.
I'd say that's about a 28 or 29 right there.
Everyone loves the car. But you know, on the top of that, there's a reservoir. A little almost like a big chimney up there.
Yeah.
And that would catch rainwater, and so they would have running water for that period of time.
Right. That's Stevenson's place up Westchester Resortsville.
No, that's on Cincinnati, Townsville Road.
Tylersville.
Jim, what was his name?
Oh, that's Dudley's.
Dudley's.
Yeah.
Dudley's.
Well, that's right here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I'll try and figure the parts out.
That right side of that.
Now, there's a house that's built just almost identical to that on Westchester Stevenson's.
Mhm.
Back a long lane. Yeah, that's. Yeah, that's Dudley's.
And to the right of that, all that's on now because there was one barn back there, but one barn I think still there.
I see one silo of the,
It's gone
gone,
now.
but the Seat Country silo is still there.
Progress.
I've ate many meal in that house. Like fishing and working with hay over there.
So beautiful farmhouse.
Yeah. Did Jimmy still live there?
Yeah.
I've seen that house.
There's Dimmick House on Dimmick Road.
Okay. Yeah, Rapture Cup, that's where Al Caster lived. Just across the railroad to the right. Johnson bought that, made that out. That's old Chester School.
Now that left side of that, the door to the left side
Yep.
was donated, money that built that was donated by Wholesale.
Was that right? Well, that fills in between the two buildings there.
Right.
That used to be an open space.
Well, it was the next building and then,
Well, this money down here for this building on the side, on the left-hand side was donated up from Scripps too.
yeah, was it? Okay.
Yep, they gave $60,000 to build that, and put the streets of Thansby and down to Cemetery.
Well, I know that, it was so fun when people would come to schools for an hour.
Yeah, that's right. It was a township hall, I think that building was built for $60,000. They also took the money from that grant and put the fence and curb and gutters down here at the cemetery.
Right.
And that was,
This is the Barrett House?
okay, that's on Barrett Road,
Mhm.
yeah.
It's yellow now. It's in foreclosure.
There was very few of those full pillars in front. That was one, that's how I remember that one.
I think the Great Turkeys. The Barrett Estate. Seven Chimneys. Cincinnati Columbus Road.
I'm not familiar with that.
That's the back of it now. Those are grills you see on the top there?
Yeah,
That's where the Civil War, during the Civil War, they would shoot Indians from there. As the saying goes.
yeah.
I don't think there are a whole lot of Indians through there, but it does indeed have some chance. So this is the corner of Cincinnati, Ayton Road, and Titusville.
Townsville, Cincinnati, that's mobs.
Yeah, across the railroad tracks, you're right.
Yeah.
So you can still see the barn up there, the Lakota Hills.
That's Stevenson's, Joe Stevenson's. That barn up there. And there was a filling station where Jim Stevenson ran at. On this side was DeBoer's store, and Charlie's Diamond Saloon was on the other corner.
Right, and that's the building.
Yeah. Yep.
Jim Williams' dad was on this.
In that picture?
No, but he was on running the store, and when he went to the service, they bought him out.
Yeah, that's right, Charlie Steinman. And they had an ice cream bar in the back when we used to play ball down on Sundays.
Yeah.
And D. Richards took us down to get his ice cream cone, Charlie Steinman. That's old Mods Depot. There's the wagon they used to put their freight on that, put milk cans and stuff, and then they'd wheel it up to the freight car. Jim Williams' dad was section boss for that section, for the workers that went out of there on a hand car every morning. But it's not there anymore either.
No.
Over on the opposite side was a hotel.
This is an old house.
That's Mods,
Yep.
just south of the intersection up there. Allen's used to live there. Grandpa DeBoer owned the same. He owned that, and he lived across the street, a big house across the street, and he worked up there at the store. He was a crippled fellow.
So you walk to work.
Yeah, he walked to work. He'd take, every so often, take about a week. He'd like gamble, take a suitcase, and he'd leave, and about a month they'd see him, he'd come back. Sometimes he'd come back all right, sometimes he didn't have much. They didn't know where he was for about a month.
Actually became a toll house. You should hear they toll. Still buy it.
Yep. It was sitting right on the road. It got hit a few times, too.
Now that. This is in Port Union.
Oh, that's the old Lodge Hall, KSC. That was across from the church down there.
Right. Ever go to any of their functions there?
Oh, I moved it.
I know they have oyster fries and
I know they used to have a baseball team that all the farmers used to play on. My dad played on it. Phoebe's dad played on it.
we recently went out to Monroe to the outdoor hall there and went to the records from this outdoor hall. And it was just real interesting. This is the ice house.
Titusville.
Well, this is on back of that church, the little church in Brittany.
Oh, okay. Presbyterian Church.
So, behind that.
Yeah.
The lake. And,
Yeah, there was. There was a nice pond there.
and they're cutting ice
Yeah.
blocks now.
And they had square huts they stored in, had sawdust and sawed in the walls. Then there was another ice pond, and that was over there where Miller's lives on Howardville Road. Just where you get the water across on the left. That little ground, that was a nice pond. I forgot about that one.
This is the lock house on the canal that ran out Fort Union.
Oh,
It's gone too.
was that on Port Union Road?
That was a Rialto.
Right, oh, yeah, I know where that was. That was on that curve.
Mm-hmm.
Market store was down here.
Right.
Yeah, I remember that one. I used to know who lived there, but I forget.
Sewage.
Was that where the store lived?
His home was across from that, but they had that for a while.
They lived in Mark and its old store. Stewart.
Yes, they did. And they got married. That's still part of the canal,
Yeah.
still there,
Huh. Now that's east of 747.
right.
Yeah. Yeah, there's part of it.
So I had water, and my turkeys put down.
Yeah, because it's lower than to get out to Mill Creek. The waterfall back this way.
That was for the wooden doors. My dad and neighbor right just been putting out, so.
Hmm.
The doors are supposedly buried deep down in the water area there.
It's what backed the water up till the birds come through, right?
Yeah.
That's Moss Teller's barn on Todsville Road.
Right.
Tile.
How
There was a tile silo there too.
Yeah. I've never seen a silo. So
That was,
that's
that's on Voice of America property, isn't
yes,
it?
it was, right, when you came in.
Yeah.
And a tornado hit it.
Well, that was.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to silo, but there used to be a silo
I
there.
never did see a silo, but I did,
That's a house.
that's the house. And this is their,
There you see the top of the silo there now.
oh, yeah.
Lee Moss Teller.
Do you know them very well?
He's a lot older than me, but I knew him, you know. He's quite an athlete.
This is Subi's barn.
Oh, down out there, now to go.
Yeah, on the other side.
That's where Smarts used to live.
Right.
Next to it was the old Howard place. They had racehorses there. That's a locust or cicada.
Well, that is, I'm not sure what kind of wood that is, but that peg. a wooden
Oh, it
peg.
is a peg.
Barn was looking good.
The way I was looking at it, it looked like
I did that too.
that's they call that tendon and mortise. What it's
Tendon
called.
what?
Tendon and mortise. See, they mortise this piece here, and then they use like tendon to go in, and then they bore a hole through it. It was a hand drill they used. Then they drove the pins through. See how the pins tapered?
Yeah. I got some of
That's,
those.
that's a pin barn. That's on a brace. Whose barn is that in?
Subi's?
Oh, okay. A lot of times that's on the hip roof. That's the back of the barn, yes, or front of it.
Well, it's about, I think because that's where the town was, a dairy
Yeah.
farm. At one time.
That one time it was, then they had horses there. Smarts did.
Yeah.
There, see there how they put them beams up there and brace them?
Yes. Bolser?
There we go.
Thanks, sir. I can't see it on the screen. You can?
Now that barn has probably been resheeted because it's sawed lumber. A lot of those had old slab lumber in them, had spaces between on the sheeting. That has probably been resheeted because I bet it was original sheeting on it slash sheeting.
Windish.
Yeah.
Do you know Windishes?
There was Windishes used to live there in Westchester, Swordsville when I was a kid on just out of Westchester on the right back along the creek. But there was later the Windishes down on at Port Union.
That's the carriage barn.
That's that barn there had walnut stalls in
Still there.
it. Is it?
Or this is new. This is feed barn.
That's the schoolhouse down next down the road.
Right. Well, first there was an ice house.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Was that going into good enough?
Yeah, that's it. They never made any bigger of it. Same way on 25, I don't know how trucks ever got through there.
Well, not a lot come through there anymore. Some say the house is set.
There used to be a big house over here, the corner house.
Right. How it burned down.
Yeah. I haven't been back in over years. After I got back to service, I went back to see Bill Hendricks the last time I was there. And I've seen that place too.
Do you know anything about Gibbo House? That was the original store, and there was another building next to it that was,
Is that right? If you went to another place?
right.
I remember on up there, Pete Surf lived up there, didn't he?
Yeah, no, how about you?
That's the church.
Bolser?
Yeah.
What persuades me is that these windows, the money for these windows came from the Sunday school classes. They must have quite a Sunday school.
Yeah, but those windows are pretty cheap then too.
Were they?
Well, I imagine.
They're worth supporting today.
Oh, goodness. The stained glass and leather windows here. That's Hendrick's old place, isn't it?
I don't know if Hendricks, but Brownley's lived there anymore. Mr. Brownley,
I think that was Hendrick's raised.
and maybe,
Going up, go up to the right, and it's up on the left.
right across from the church.
Yeah, I think that's Hendrick's old place. Anything,
That is the first house built in Genoa.
is that right? Whose house was that?
I really don't know. It's all Virginia Shewalter's book, though.
Virginia Shewalter's.
Well, she lived there.
Yeah, I know she did.
So she knew about it.
Well, she wrote a book.
Right. And this house has been redone. Carpenter lived there, and he's kind of refaced it. That's Jim's old house where he.
Where the apples I played, yeah. Anything good was on the hill from here.
Right. That's
Then
right.
on the other side, there's Zim's lived over on the other side.
Right. They did. That's Shewalter's.
Yeah.
That's a 1923 Feb Sears house. And when they put that first wall to the left, a big storm came and knocked part of it down. And so they reassembled it, but it's never been really lovely since then. But it's a good old house. I didn't know any. Now this is the post office.
Okay.
When you came into Genoa, there's that big old house there.
Yep.
Well, this house was extra, and that was the post office. And they rolled that up on logs to a new position. And then the back of that was this, which was the train station. And then
I remember when they had a train station.
it would move too.
Yeah.
And this is the inside of it. And then that's the signage for Union Township, Westchester Township, farm town. Whoops, that's it. That's it. I was wondering about the cemetery. Do you remember anything about cemetery in Old Westchester, and particularly chapel? We are trying to find out when it was built.
No, I don't know.
Did
I've
you-
been there ever since I can remember.
Okay.
The first accident was Curtis Joseph, that was Kenneth Joseph's father, and he was there for years, but that chapel's been there since I can remember.
Well, I think we found an answer, but it was 1833. We went to the cemetery books, and it's the only entry in October of that year that they bought lumber and sashes, windows, and things like that. So we're thinking that would be the right date.
The, and the fence and the gutters and stuff, when that was about 29, 30. That's for that grant from Chris. I remember that. I was young, but I remember when they were doing it.
Oh, that's good to know, too.
And the rest of that was given, or had a restricted deed on it, to Charlie Heisman, down here where Dud owns Dudley's farm. He gave that to Union Township for cemetery. And they put that administration building and stuff on there, but it's supposed to have had a restricted deed. It was a gift from the Heisman, from Charlie Heisman.
Okay.
There's 26 or 28 acres in here.
Well, I know there was a deed
Jason.
transfer when they, in 1833. We gotta look that up yet to see who transferred that over to who. We figured it's probably on 4 to 5 plots, the little cemetery building. So whoever owned those plots had to give
Give
that
that.
up, you know, wanted to give it up, donate it or whatever, so. Okay. Also, as a kid growing up in Genoa, I mean,
Westchester.
you get that, that's right. As a kid growing up in Old Westchester, what do you do about doctors, medicine, things like that?
We went to Sharonville, Doc Beakley, who was in Sharonville, and Doc Williamson with Bethany. But we always went to Putoff's drugstore for any medicine we had to have. But you didn't have to have medicine much in those days. But Beakley and Williamson was the two doctors that we used.
Well, what did they do? What did they give you to get well? Was it herbs and things like
Probably aspirin. I don't. Well, if you get overheated, I know they used to give us the old Germans give us hot water and whiskey, make you break out and sweat, and then you'd be all right. And colds, we had whiskey, rock candy, glycerin, and lemon. Put in the bottle and get real thick. You eat a couple tablespoons of that. But I don't ever remember taking any medicine.
that? You made them pretty healthy.
Yeah, I was.
I think a lot of the people that lived in those days with the soil was much healthier because we
Yeah.
depleted it. And so the plants of which you ate from were much more healthier than what we're getting today.
I know you had to have a smallpox vaccination before you go to school.
No, That would be the only thing, right?
That was the only thing. But then our kids, they had to have all a series of shots, but we had to have smallpox vaccination.
I did too. It didn't take long the first time. So they could act when I was older. Was not happy. Is there anything else that, what did you do for fun?
Well, we played, we'd get old tar, we'd roll it, we'd find steel hoop, we'd get on Oklahoma pills and get a steel hoop. Usually had some around there, and we'd make a stick with a board on it. We'd roll them around, played ball. We had a ball diamond down back of St. John's Church, and we played up at the school, and up at Mods we had a ball diamond.
So did you travel when you played?
Oh, no.
Like, did
No.
you play the kids in Mod?
Yeah, I played kids in Mod, played kids in Westchester, and but in high school we did go to the schools to play. So
Where did you go in high school? What building?
the old Westchester building.
The Union?
Union.
Elementary?
Not high school. High school was north of the elementary building. The elementary was, there was 360 in the school when I graduated in 1941. But we usually play basketball Friday, Saturday night. We played league teams on Friday nights, and then Saturday nights we played Sheridanville, Reading, Mason, Harrisburg, teams that weren't in the county. There were 16 teams in the county, I think, at that time.
Well, as you got older and started to date, where would you go for, if you had a date, what would you do?
Well, the first place I probably went was Port Union Dance Hall. And you'd go to a show maybe. But you didn't date that much, really. I never had cars. And, now, there used to be a dance hall there in Westchester, on Westchester to Swordsville. When you go down Westchester to Swordsville, cross that little bridge, on to the south, that long building, that was Billy Crosscup. Valley U, they called it. It was a dance hall. You know that? Yeah, it was a
Well,
dance.
actually, Port Union and Westchester both had like
Both had dance halls, yeah.
Did they bring you good bands there, or was they just like country?
No, we thought they were pretty good. It was local people. A guy by the name of Gordon played the piano. They have about 3 pieces. Yeah, but the parents, really, what started this was a PTA school in the old gym there at Westchester. They'd have card party and a dance once a month. Well, the older people go to base and play cards till about 10 o'clock. And they'd come up and we'd dance till probably 11, 11:30. And the kids, you dance with your parents. So we danced up in the gym then. And that was one of the biggest recreations we had probably. Was the
Not
PT.
today, was it?
No.
So if you were going to the Mod, would you ride a bike?
I didn't have a bike.
You
I
walked?
walked through the fields.
Of course,
I-
the interstate wasn't there, so.
So every Sunday we'd have a ball game down at Mott's. And my aunt lived just on Titusville Road, not very far from Mott's. And she didn't like playing ball on Sunday, so I walked through the fields back to her house. She didn't see me carry my ball glove at Mott's play ball.
That's stick around.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we played ball about every Sunday down at Mott's. I lived in Westchester to Swordsville. It was probably a 2 or 3 mile walk. And then after I graduated high school, I worked third at Foster's, and I had to walk from up on Westchester to Swordsville, almost to Titusville, to Westchester, catch a ride to go to work. And I'd work 3:11, and then I'd come home at 11 o'clock at night, and I had to walk back. So I did that one whole summer.
Winters must have been hard. Did that do in the winter too?
Now, in the wintertime, after I graduated, I went to Ohio State. And so I was up there in the winter. But 2 summers I did that. I walked from,
What was your major?
I majored in agriculture and education, and I applied for vet school. And I was going to vet school in January of 43, and I went to the Army in December 42, so I didn't go.
And in the Army, what did you experience?
I was in infantry.
You went to
I was in ETO in Europe.
Iraq?
Yep. We never slept in bed for about 11 months. It was on the ground. It had concentrated rations, C's and K's, and it was rough. We went in southern France. I did win on the beach at Normandy. That was about a month later, 2 months later. It was around the 1st of August. And we went in southern France.
So how French people receive you guys?
Oh, when we took the town, they received as well. But then after we were there, they tried to steal from us. we had some problems with them, but normally I think the German people probably treated us better after we got into Germany than than the French people did. They didn't care whether we were there or not. After we liberated town, they was glad to see us when we went in. They brought everything to us, but then after that, they just leave, we leave, I think.
It's very interesting. So when you came back home, when did you meet Phoebe?
I met Phoebe when she was about the 5th grade, and I was about the 7th, yeah. And then she moved away. She moved up to Union Township. That was about 25, 30 miles. Well, I didn't get to see her much then. And but my senior year then, when we went together, and I had to go somewhere else because I didn't have a car. I went to Ohio State, and I did get to see her for about 2 years. We rode. And I was in the Army for about 3, so that we rode back and forth, but very little did we see one another, really. So then I got out November 45. We got married January of 46, so it'll be 59 years this January.
That's a long-time relationship, right? How many years have you been married?
Be 59 in January.
59?
Won't it? 59, yeah.
I'm telling you, it's a 4-H project out of hand.
Yeah, I'll be right.
Well, you'll find a lot of people married that long,
No,
and
no.
very few, you know, so that's to be congratulated.
Well, thank you.
For both of you, having a happy, good life and raising your children up to be good citizens. And I appreciate the fact that you came up here twice on Stagecoach to do these interviews with us.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
so I thank you very much.
Well, thank you.